All right, welcome back. If you're just checking me out, I'm assuming it's from the Don't Tell, which I appreciate. That's cool. Um, I don't expect anything from the Don't Tell. I want to say that to be very clear. Um, it's a great opportunity. I'm like stoked about it, but I always kind of just like some people say. So I sometimes I describe how I live my life, which is basically like I uh, people sum it up and they go, oh yeah, you expect the worst and hope for the best. No, I accept the worst and there is no hope. I just 100% assume that's exactly what's gonna happen. So I assume just like everyone's gonna hate it. It's gonna get the least amount of views of a Don't Tell ever. Every single comment's going to be like, this guy is such a pussy. Uh, I hate this guy. He's not funny, and I wish he'd quit stand-up comedy. That's what I assume is going to happen, and I've accepted it. I've accepted that to be the case. I assume 0 people are going to watch this video from the Don't Tell, and this is a pointless thing for me to do. So, that being said, I feel like... no, I feel like it'll be all right, and... I think I did my best. I flew out to New York a week ahead of time to do stand-up out there. I've never been to New York. Never did stand-up in New York. So it was very obviously different for me being, a guy from small town Louisiana going up there and, now living in Texas and just kind of like experiencing a bigger city here or there. But like going up there, it's, it couldn't be more, different than what I'm used to. The crowds definitely seem to be. I basically once I did the Don't Tell set, it was basically 50% different than what I thought it was going to be whenever I first went out there. I thought I was going to be doing a completely different set, honestly. So I kind of went up there and I don't know, I wanted it. I've been battling with this my whole time doing stand-up where people, I think, like me more when I just go, yeah, I'm from Swampland, and they got the big trucks, and we got the swamp people on the TV. People, will eat that shit up. They love that. But they can't get enough of that. But the moment I do a little bit more, like, whatever, topical, if you want to say political, fine, that's fine. But really the set was just kind of what I've been going through, and that's what I wanted to put on the video. I wanted it to be, because I have jokes like that. I have jokes a bunch about like, the South and whatever. And I did a couple of those, but I'm just saying like for the most part, I wanted to talk about what I'm going through, and I think that's more my style is, and I'm getting better at it, obviously, even since that Don't Tell, which was in January, we filmed it. It's gotten better. I've gotten better at just talking about kind of what I got going on now in my life. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. So hopefully that was, portrayed pretty well, and people take it and like it. We'll see. But yeah, comedy has kind of been this like cyclical, and life really cyclical thing where it's like, when I was a kid, it was like, you got to go to college. That's what it's all about. Get a good job, go to college, and then I got to that point, and then everyone's like, actually college is a waste of time, and you went into debt for no reason. And so now Don't Tell is like almost becoming the same thing where it's like, yeah, it'd have been cool if I'd have did Don't Tell, it was like losing my virginity at 19. It wasn't really that cool. Still got fist bumps. You know what I mean? That's what Don't Tell is. It's like, yeah, I got fist bumps. People are like, good job. Fuck yeah, you got it on it. Yeah. But it would have been, it would have changed my life 2 years ago, actually. It would have significantly been different. And that's okay. That's fine with that. I'm happy that I got it when I did, and happy that I'm, very grateful that I got to do it. It was a cool experience for sure. A little peek behind the curtain, I guess, would be like, they told me that like it was funny. Everybody was like, oh, they're going to edit the shit out of it. They're going to add laughs, all kinds of shit. I don't know if they just like don't give a fuck about me or what, but they definitely didn't. They definitely didn't add any laughs. It was the laughs that I got was the laughs was fucking in there. So hey, We'll take it. We'll take it. I guess they're just like, we're not gonna edit this one too much, so that's fine. So that's cool. At least it was an honest, set, which felt nice. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I was just glad it was fucking over. The next morning, I woke up and I had a couple drinks or whatever the night before, so I woke up kind of like late, stayed up, and just kind of, honestly, the adrenaline of it all made me stay up so late. It was just a lot, man. It was just like, it was one taping. It was one night. They're keeping what the fuck they recorded, and they're posting it in front of millions of people. That's the pressure you had to go through. Where, it's the first time I ever had to go through something like that. Honestly, my, 6, almost 7 years of doing stand-up, where they're like, yeah, go up there, asshole. Do it. You're in a warehouse. These people don't know you, and they probably hate you just off of fucking contact. They probably don't like the way you sound because you sound racist. And then they have fun. Good luck up there. And it's immediately, having to win them over and making like a statement for my career. A lot of pressure. And so then that night, I definitely, adrenaline was on a fucking 10, and I stayed up a little late. And then I woke up very late, and my flight was pretty early. And I had to go all the way from fucking Manhattan, which is where the taping was, to New Jersey to fly out of New Jersey. And at the moment, I'm thinking, I'm thinking like it's Texas, where I'm like, I just got to get an Uber and just fucking, I'll figure it out. Figure out the way back. No, it takes like 50 minutes to an hour to get from to New Jersey from Manhattan. So I'm like, fuck, I have to leave like right now. I'm like throwing all my shit, and I'm like, fuck. I'm throwing all of my shit in my suitcase, hurrying up. I all of a sudden just get stricken with nausea and just fucking scream vomit in the toilet. I have to run over, scream vomit, and then I'm like, ugh. Like wipe my mouth. I'm like, I have to leave like right now. I have to leave. I have to go to the airport. I have to be at the airport right now. And so I had to, it was crazy. It was like I was in fucking Home Alone, Lost in New York. I was like running with my suitcase like, fuck, wait, Dad. I was like running to the subway, and finally got to the subway, beat the fucking all the shit because I ended up just saying fuck it and getting an Uber once I got to New Jersey, because you got to take another train. Anyway, it was a fucking nightmare getting back, and I was just so happy it was over. So now it's posted, and I'm so glad that it's just out there. I'm just so glad it's over, because the whole process has been so long, and honestly, anxiety ridding that I'm just like, I'm just so tired. I'm just so ready for it all to be over, and the hate comments to not be so bad. God, I hope the hate comments are just not. Who knows? I feel like I stirred a lot of debate. That's the thing. That's what I was talking about. I wanted to talk about kind of what I wanted to talk about what I got going on, and I wanted it to be funny. And a lot of it is probably going to be poking at a lot of topics people might get upset about. And that's okay. We'll make do. A lot of it is just true, too. A lot of people, they want to go, I fucking hate this, too. After shows where people come up to me and they're like, oh, man, are you really from Louisiana? I swear to God, every time someone asks me that, a part of me understands why mass murderers exist. I mean, it really bothers me, like, where I'm like, you think I just went up there and lied to you people? You think I just went up there like a method actor, and I'm just going up there and just making shit up out of my fucking head? I'd be on SNL if that was the case. That's not the case. I'm telling the truth. I'm up there. You know what I mean? That's what bothers me, bro. Is like a little bit about it makes me not want to talk about what I have actually going on, because then everybody thinks it's just they just don't take it serious, or they question if it's real and I'm making things up, which bothers me a lot. You know what I mean? I actually had a possession charge. You know what I mean? I actually had to deal with all that, and actually the true story behind the wish I'd had more time to kind of tell it. The true story that of me, I almost got arrested. This was like a year ago. I went to Big Ben, which is like a big, for everybody. It's basically just a place where people go do drugs. So, I mean, the government ain't stupid. They put a They put a whole fucking border stop right outside of it, which I had no idea. Obviously, we should have read the Reddit forums or whatever about that, the hippie drug Reddit forums, because obviously that had been on there. I don't know. We didn't do our research at all. Me and my buddy just drove out there with a bunch of it was me and two buddies drove out there with a bunch of shrooms, a bunch of weed, and we got stopped. And it was kind of crazy because that's where the bit came from, because they had a line of people in front of us, and they were kind of just letting them go. I mean, they weren't even stopping them. They were just driving through. And the guy had a dog on the side of him, drug dog, and then we pull up. And when I say the dog didn't make a movement, when we pulled up with the truck, and we stopped at that border. I'm talking maybe 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. We sit there in the border underneath the gazebo thing, or the shed or whatever the fuck it is, called the shelter that they have the border passing. And we're not even by the border, by the way. I mean, this is just very inland border station for fucking no reason, just because they know people take drugs at Big Bend. We stopped for maybe 2-3 seconds, and then the guy's like, "Oh, y'all gotta pull over here." I was like, "What?" I mean, the dog. I'm telling you, I'm sitting right. I saw the dog the whole time. That's the only thing I'm looking at, because I'm fucking terrified of these drug dogs. The whole time I'm looking at it, the dog doesn't move. He doesn't even make a movement. And then the guy claims that he's like, "Oh yeah, he gave us the signal." He's, you mean the signal only you know? Do you see the moral hazard that could possibly happen there? You know what I mean? They just making it up. They're just like, "Oh, he licked his upper lip." That's when we have to search you. He just said it. I mean, it's crazy. So that's what happened. I mean, we just, we pull over, and of course we're like, "No, we don't have nothing in here." This truck? No, we have nothing in here. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, okay, well, you guys got to step out, because the dog says that y'all got something." And and apparently, I didn't even say this in the joke, but apparently I learned this later, apparently only 40% of drug dogs successfully smell weed. You know that? 40%. We might as well flip a coin at that point. I mean, you know what I mean? That doesn't even make any sense. 40%? That's so low to surpass a search warrant. Because that's the whole deal. That's what I say in the joke, where it's like you can't. The whole point of the dog being there is so that they don't need a search warrant. So then the dog could be like, he just said that the dog just said it. It's like it's the craziest loophole in the world. And so the dog smelled it, whatever, And so then we step out, and we're kind of tripping because we're in bumfuck nowhere. I don't even know the county laws of this area we're in, outside of Big Bend. We got probably 8 grams of mushrooms on us, right? I'm sitting there, we're getting detained on the side of this fucking building. We're sitting there handcuffed, just sitting there in a line, me and my 2 buddies. I'm like, I'm going to jail tonight. I'm probably going to get, slapped with something crazy. And I want to say, and white privilege wasn't even on the table, I don't think. These guys were hardly speaking English that were fucking detaining us. So I was like, who knows where we're going tonight? You know what I mean? I don't know. So we're just sitting there, and my buddy, for some reason, me and the guy who drove the truck, it was his truck. We did not have our phones. They took our phones, but then they didn't take my other buddy's phone. I don't know what that was about. They didn't. He had his phone for some reason. I don't even know why. I think they didn't. I genuinely think they asked him for his phone, and he was like, "I don't have it," and so he just kept his phone on him. Thank God too, because bro, we're sitting there on the side of the building. And the border agent is going through his truck, and we're sitting there handcuffed. And I turn to my buddy and I go, "Google how much shrooms a felony." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Google how much shrooms is a felony." And so my buddy takes his phone out, just on like looking down, trying to hide his phone and looking up. And sure enough, a felony amount is 4 grams, over 4 grams. So we definitely have that. I brought 4 grams, you know what I'm saying? And then my buddy also brought shrooms. So I'm like, oh, we're double fucked. And so my buddy, they find my buddy's bag first. So they find my buddy's bag, they find his shit first. All the shrooms, the weed, they find it all. And then they start looking for mine, right? And I turn to my buddy, and I go, you gotta take all of it. And he was like, what? I'm like, you gotta, here's the thing. I'm like, it's either we both get the felonies or you just get the felony and we split the money. I'm like, it's your truck. You know what I mean? They already found your shit. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely gonna wonder why your shit's in my bag. That's for sure. But you can claim all of it, and then we just split whatever you're gonna have to go to jail. That's gonna suck. That's gonna be the shitty. The shitty part is that it's either both of us go to jail or you just go to jail, and we split the money. That's the whole thing. And so, I mean, he, a brother for life after this moment. He says, okay, he tells the guy that it's all his. And we get detained, bro. We get shuttled into this like room. I mean, it's the saddest looking room. I mean, it looked like, it's all over the news. I've seen what an El Salvadorian prison looks like. It's kind of similar. I mean, it was fucked up. It was like very blank room. I mean, it looked like an insane asylum room. We were just shoved in there. Waited for hours. We waited in there for hours while they just sat, because the border agent, the way it works is like they just call. They don't have any ability to arrest and put people in the jail or charge anybody. They just capture, right, and detain. And so they're just sitting in there calling other agencies around, police forces. They're calling multiple, I forget what it was like multiple agencies that they were calling. Like they were calling like the drug agency, they were calling the police agency down the street, they were calling the station, right? And he's like, good news, it was very funny. He was like, good news, there's actually a car pileup. He's like, there's a couple dead down the street, and that's good news for you guys because they're probably a little too busy to handle this right now. I'm like, the guy's dead, and he's like, yeah, there's a guy dead, and motorcycle accident, no helmet. And I was like, Jesus, and it was crazy. The good news for y'all though, I mean, great news. And we're like, yeah, it's good. It's great. The guy's dead, and then they were like, so it seems like nobody's gonna take this. So, and then we're like, my buddy's like, so we can keep the drugs? And he's like, absolutely not. You can't keep the fucking drugs, idiot. And then, I don't even know why he asked that. That was the dumbest thing. And then, they just took our drugs. Which, this is like kind of part of the joke that I had in it, because it is like, they just take the drugs. And then they wrap it real tight, bro. They're putting it in the fucking, they're putting in like styrofoam and shit and like testing how good it is. I'm like, what? Why do we got to test how good it is? I don't know. I don't know if it's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is weed. It is shrimp. You can see that just on, you can see that on site. That's what it is. They're testing how good it is first. They're like, we got to do some tests, see if we want it. And then, yeah, they just took it, bro. They took all of our shit. And then they flagged his truck and they flagged his license. So every time he goes flying and shit, he's got to get searched and stuff now, which is a pretty good fair trade-off for like not getting a felony, not going to jail. And so they let us off. They let us just straight off, which was crazy. I mean, again, white privilege, call it what you want. I got off. It was fire. And so we were hyped. We were like, hell yeah, which was so funny because we had like 3 fucking handles of whiskey as well. And they were like, no, we don't. No, it's fine. Drink that on the way there. We don't give a fuck. That's like crazy. They didn't give a shit about literally whiskey that could have killed all 3 of us in an hour. They were like, no, it's fine. We're going to take the mushrooms and the weed. This never killed anyone. That's what we need. And then, so then we drove all the way to the campground. And, bro, I mean, go to the desert without any drugs. See how fun it is. Because I found that out. I mean, unbelievably boredom. I mean, it was so bored. We're like primitive tent camping in the desert. Just bros hanging out. We're like, guess we play poker? I don't know. We played poker because we didn't have any drugs. You understand? The sky looked pretty. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, yeah, stars, cool, yeah. And whiskey only does so much. You know what I mean? Whiskey just kind of makes you tired and just kind of fucked up, and you're just, you know what I mean? You're like, what the? You're just wishing you had weed to kind of chill the fucking, you know, drunk anxiety out there of just doing nothing. Just boredom. I mean, just it's so boring. So then it was 2 days of that. We're just kind of walking around and we're like, well, I mean, you can't drink whiskey and hike. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just gonna fucking puke. It's like it's not fun. So we're just sober as shit hiking. Just not the plan. Not the plan we had at all. We wanted to be like crying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just significantly different. And so then we're like, dude, we got to find something. We got to find some like kind of smoke shop. Maybe they got, you know, something. Maybe they got any kind of, I'll take a Zen at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a strong tobacco at this point. You know, I need something to just kind of mentally escape the boredom of rocks and stone and cactuses. And so then we were like, yeah, let's find something. And I mean, you have to understand the bravery of doing that. We were like, let's go through the border thing again. I mean, that's how desperate we were. We're like, I mean, they can't take away our Delta 8, right? And and apparently no, they don't give a fuck. We do. We drive to the smoke shop that's like a mile outside of the border station. Not even. It's like I could have ran there. We drive to the fucking the smoke shop, and the guy. And by the way, at this point in my life, I've always smoked. Sorry, I'm a real OG. I only smoke real fucking weed. So I never bought Delta 8 before. I never you know what I mean? I had the edibles or whatever, but I never. We walk in this bitch. They got every motherfucking strain of just straight up weed. I mean, it is. He's like, smell it. Smells good. Huh? It's like, look at it. And like, we're touching it. Dude, it's just literally flour. Literally, like flour nug weed, bro. It's weed. Straight up flour. It's crazy. It's just like the craziest kush you've ever seen in your life. And we're like, yeah, I guess we'll take that. I mean, fuck. We'll take that. Drive through the door. I mean, bro, it's like it's crazy. It's like a movie. We drive back through the border thing. They're like, have a good day. Just let us drive through. With like probably a half ounce of just like the firest weed, probably better weed than what we kind of came with, actually. Better weed than what they fucking took from us. And we got high as shit. Honestly, too high. I felt like I was going to die out there. They had Delta 8 edibles. I don't know what the hell they put in those things. I mean, that's the problem with me about this like loophole weed shit. I just don't know what they're putting in there. That's the problem. It's like, that's why I don't smoke. That used to be the rule. It's like you don't buy a shake. You don't buy a shake. Because you don't know what, you know, that could be oregano cut with whatever, lawn clippings. You know what I mean? You just don't buy a shake. And so then now, but everybody's cool with buying the fucking, the oil shit, the vape oil shit. That's crazy to me. I mean, bro, that could be olive oil. That could be vegetable oil mixed with whatever the shit. And people just smoke it like crazy. I just don't even, I don't know, man. I don't have faith in all that, so I just don't. I try to steer away from all that. I mean, I'll still, somebody's offering, you know what I mean? I'm still gonna take a hit of it, you know. But I mean, I just don't trust the oil shit. That just it just looks bad, you know. And they all different colors and the flavors or whatever the fuck. It's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. But yeah, we just got high as shit in the desert with just legal fucking whatever the shit weed they want you to buy out there. It's just, it's the most scam shit ever. And now they're taking it away from us. Now Texas is going, no. All the THC. Tell me how this makes sense. Tell me, is this not them trying to create their own fucking cartel? Why on God's green earth would you go, hey, yeah, the loophole weed, the farm bill, that's good. Y'all can do that. Actually, we're cool with y'all like really expanding what hemp is, and like, yeah, it's good money for the state. You know what I mean? We make some fucking bullshit Delta 69 fucking weed, whatever the shit. Yeah, that's good. Sell that. A bunch of businesses open up shop, all over the place. They have them everywhere. They're selling fucking weed. I went to a weed shop in Austin. You could just smoke joints inside the bitch. Straight up. Right by the fucking AMC movie theater. They're like, you want to smoke weed before movies? Do it in this bitch. Who gives a shit? We're growing. They grow weed in it. They have weed plants inside the store. What the fuck? Bro, a month after I got a possession charge, I'm in this bitch where they're growing weed and you can smoke inside. What the fuck is this world? Makes no damn sense. And now they're taking it all away. Now they're taking it all away. Now they're making that. Now the policy coming out is going to be no more THC anything. So where do you think all this weed's going to go? Immediate black market. They're creating a black market overnight. Overnight, I'm going to be making more weed. Overnight, everybody that sells weed is going to be making a killing, bro. It's almost like that's what they want, though. That's what it seems like to me. Seems like if you wanted to make an immediate black market and make money off of selling a bunch of weed, creating demand immediately with a whole bunch of supply. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. I'm not, I'm those conspiracy theorists. I'm just saying, I'm just reading what the facts, and it just seems like, 2 + 2 = 4. Seems like they're trying to make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Tax-free. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, and trust me, I understand the game. There's money in it, I'll tell you that. But it's a weird world. I mean, that's why I like traveling for comedy, because you get to see every other, you know what I'm saying? You get to see every other little pocket of like what the fuck their rules are. And it's so weird, bro, because it makes comedy harder than ever. Because you go around and you go, oh, I got an abortion joke, right? Which I did in a Don't Tell. And then it's like, oh, I have to be like, so what's the laws here? Every state I go to, I got to be like, are they cool with it? You have to be like, you have to be like a congressman to be a stand-up now. It's like where you have to go around and you have to be like, what do y'all believe? Because you just, if you go out there and you just go, yeah, abortion, huh? And then they're boo, Oklahoma, boo. No, don't talk about it. We don't believe in that. And then you go 2 states over and they're like applauding you. They're like, yeah, her body, her choice. It's like, it's the craziest. It doesn't make any sense. And so then that's why again, that's why going back to the Don't Tell thing, the difficulty of that, and I tried my hardest. I really did. I mean, again, I could have gone up there, talked about, alligators and, crawfish boils or, truck nuts or whatever. And people would have loved that. People ate that up. Dayton, horoscopes, whatever the fuck. People would have ate that up. People would love that. I have jokes all about that stuff, and people would have been like, oh, hell yeah, this guy, he's just a good fun, But I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to push like my boundaries a little too, just being like, oh, I'll see if I can talk about what's going on in the world and what's going on with me, and kind of touching on some topics that maybe people aren't gonna agree with all the way or something. Who knows? I don't know. I was trying my best to kind of put what I thought was good out that could be good for like clips or whatever. 'Cause that's the other part of the game. The whole thing is like, oh, it's gonna be clipped up to shit, so you gotta at least have a clippable moment that the internet will like. And I've learned the more about the internet and stuff, it's like what works on the internet isn't really what usually like what will work every time in a live show. Like sometimes it's like stuff that really works online, like does like fine live or whatever, and it's like it's just because it's like a topic that people are talking about or whatever. So it's kind of a weird, I don't know. Again, I was just trying to do my best of like, oh, these are the jokes that I think will flow well with the set and kind of make a concise thing or whatever. I don't know. Again, I've only been doing this for like 6-7 years. I really don't know what I'm doing still. I'm slow. Took me a while to get long division. It's going to take me a while to get stand-up. I've just accepted that. If you watch the Don't Tell, I appreciate it. I know it's kind of like whatever. I wouldn't say negative. I say realistic. I just kind of don't. I don't like putting too much pressure on something that I don't really think matters that much. I still do stand up every night. If you want to come out to a show at the Mothership, please come through. I post about usually all of them that I'm on ahead of time, and on my Instagram. If you want to check that out, that's another thing. You know, it used to be when I started stand up, if you had 100,000 followers, you were Eddie fucking Murphy. You might as well have been Kevin Hart in 2008. I mean, you were. It was like, whoa, 100,000 fucking followers. You were a millionaire. Now it's like, I mean, if you're 100,000, you could be working at Subway and have 100,000 followers. I mean, it just doesn't even matter. It's like, yeah, I make sandwich videos. I flip them and I do the mayo and I say, oh, gotta have a good spread on it. That's my catchphrase. I sell T-shirts that says gotta have a good spread. That's what it's like now. So it's like now, so doesn't even matter. The followers, all of it doesn't matter. I'm still doing stand-up every night. That being said, if you could follow me on Instagram, that'd be great. It's the CJ Landry, because some asshole took CJ Landry. And by the way, that's another one. People go, oh, is your name real CJ? Or is that some kind of stage name, CJ? It's like, no, I've been CJ my whole life. My real name's Carol. I have a bit about it on my Instagram if you want to see. All my jokes on Instagram are not in the Don't Tell. And all the jokes I'm doing right now on stage, for the most part, are not on the Don't Tell or on the Instagram. So if you want to come see me live, please do, for love of God. Hopefully I'll be headlining a little bit more because of this Don't Tell thing. That'd be nice. And yeah, please keep listening to me. Subscribe if you can. And press the like button and shove a dildo up your ass.